What up, though? It's my guy Steve. Alright, so today we're continuing our MGS Calculus Camp. In the last lesson, we used the limit definition of the derivative. That formula showed us exactly where derivatives come from. It shows that the derivative is the limit of the slope. But here's the thing. We don't want to use the limit definition every time we want to take a derivative. That'll just take too long, right? So today we learn some basic derivative rules that let us find derivatives much faster. Now, the big rule for today is that power rule, okay? And once you understand that power rule, then some other basic derivative rules just come a lot easier. So here's our big idea for today. Derivative rules are shortcuts, but they still come from limits. All right, let's try it. So our first rule is the power rule. The power rule says if f of x equals x to the n, then f prime of x is n times x to the n minus 1 power. Or put it plainly, bring down the exponent and subtract 1 from the exponent. Now again, it has to be an exponent as in a polynomial of some sort. So not an exponential, that's a whole nother type of rule. Like if I had x cubed, then that 3 comes down in front, and then we subtract 1 from the power, so it's now to the second power. In other words, the derivative of f of x equals x cubed would be f prime of x equals 3x squared. All right, so let's try a problem. This one says use the power rule to find the derivative. So if f of x equals x to the fifth, again, we can use that power rule because we have the variable to some power. So if we're saying find f prime of x, this is saying find the derivative of f with respect to x. And since x is my variable, or when I'm taking the derivative with respect to, I can just use the power rule because it's x to a power. Meaning that 5 just moseys on down in front. People still use mosey? I don't know. I still say mosey sometimes. Okay, that 5 just moseys on down in front. So 5x to the, and now we subtract 1 from that power. So 5x to the fourth power would be our derivative, or f prime of x. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. All right, let's try the next one. So it says use the power rule to find the derivative. F of x equals x cubed. Okay, we worked on this already, right? So if f of x equals x cubed, then f prime of x, which means the derivative of that f function with respect to x, would be, well, since this is x to a power, I can just bring that power and mosey on down in front. Bring that power down in front. Okay, so that's 3 to the, now we subtract 1 from that power. So 3x to the second power, 3x squared. All right, so let's talk about constants. If we have a constant, the derivative is 0. Now, if we're taking the derivative with respect to x, and there's no x's, it's a constant with respect to x, then the derivative of that portion is just 0. Now, why is that? That's because a constant is flat. For example, if f of x equals 7, the graph is a horizontal line. In other words, y equals 7. So what's the slope of a horizontal line? It's 0. So the derivative of that constant is 0. So let's try this one. Find the derivative of f of x equals 7. Again, we're saying f prime of x, so the derivative of f with respect to x, since this has no x's. We can think of it actually as x to the 0 power, right? So we still use our power rule, right? We say take that 0 down in front. Now there's a 7 out in front, so we're really multiplying 0 times that 7 that's out in front, which would give me 0 to then subtracting 1 from that power, we would say to the negative 1. But again, it's 0 times something, so this just equals 0, okay? In other words, our derivative of this constant function is 0, because that's the slope of the tangent line. So that brings up, well, what if we have that number in front? Then all we do is when we bring that power down in front, we multiply by that number, that constant, that coefficient that is out in front of the x portion. Like, let's try this one. Find the derivative of f of x equals 4x cubed. Again, we would say, well, f prime of x, so the derivative of the f function with respect to x, is we just bring that 3 down in front. And Moses still on down in front. We just multiply it by that 4. So we'd say 3 times 4, and then still subtract 1 from the power to the second power. Well, 3 times 4 is 12, so this becomes 12x to the second power. 12x squared would be our derivative with respect to x, okay? So the derivative of 4x cubed is 12x squared. Okay, now let's try combining terms, right? So what happens there is that if there's a plus or a minus in between these two terms in the function, we can take the derivative of them individually and then just put that plus or minus back in between. Meaning we can derive term by term. In other words, the derivative of the sum is the sum of the derivatives, and the derivative of the difference is the difference of the derivatives. Basically, just do each part separately. Like this one here. Find the derivative of f of x equals x to the 4th plus 3x squared minus 5x plus 9. So again, using those power rules, they all have pluses or minuses in between them, so we can take their derivative individually or term by term. Meaning here, f prime of x, the derivative of f with respect to x, would be, okay, x to the 4th. We take that 4 down in front, and then subtract 1 from the power. So this becomes 4x to the 3rd. Got it. Same thing here. Take that 2 down in front. Just multiply it by the 3. Got it. So, okay, so plus, there's a plus in between. And then 2, bring it down in front, subtract 1 from the power. So that becomes 6. 3 times 2 is 6. X to the now 1 power. Got it. Minus, okay, here, there's 5x to the 1, right? So take that 1 down in front. Okay, so 1 times 5 is x to the, and subtract 1 from the power, x to the 0 power. And then here, the derivative of constant, we just said, that's like x to the 0, meaning take that 0 down in front, and then subtract 1 from the power. So 0 times 9 is 0, x to the negative 1. And so now simplifying things, we would get, this is 4x cubed plus 6x minus, remember x to the 0 is just 1, right? This is 1, so minus 5, and then again, this is 0 because 0 times something, so we can ignore that part and not put that part down. So we would get f prime of x is 4x cubed plus 6x minus 5. So again, notice each time the x portion goes down 1 power, we just bring that power down in front, subtract 1 from the power. All right, let's try another one. So here we got a similar thing going on. Find the derivative of f of x equals 6x to the 5th minus 2x cubed plus x minus 8. So again, our f prime of x, we just gonna bring that power down in front, subtract 1 from the power. Right? So here, take that 5 down in front, multiply it by the 6. That's 5 times 6 is 30. X to the, and then subtract 1 from the power, x to the 4th. Okay, same thing here, minus, and then bring the 3 down in front. 3 times 2 is 6, x to the, subtract 1 from the power, to the 2nd. Okay, this is x to the 1, so bring that 1 down in front. There's no number or no coefficient in front, so 1 times 1, so plus x to the, subtract 1 from the power, so x to the 0 power. And here there's a constant, so the derivative of that is just 0. Got it, okay. So, simplifying this, we would get f prime of x equals 30x to the 4th minus 6x squared. And again, x to the 0 is just, and the 0 part we don't have to write. So we just get plus. Let's try some more. Number 7 here says, find f prime of 2 if f of x equals x cubed minus 4x plus 1. So this one's similar. First we find f prime of x, then just plug in 2. In other words, find the derivative of f with respect to x first, and then afterwards we're going to plug in the x value of 2. So here, finding that, okay, using our power rules, there's a bunch of x powers, right? And so we can use our power rule, bring that 3 down in front. So that's 3x, and then subtract 1 from the power. So we would get x squared. Okay, here, same thing. This is the x to the 1 power. So minus, bring that 1 down in front. 1 times 4 is x to the, subtract 1 from the power. So x to the 0. And again, a constant, we don't have to worry about that. The derivative of a constant is just 0. So this simplifies to f prime of x would be 3x squared minus, again, this is 1, so minus. All right. So then it says find f prime of 2, meaning f prime of 2. Just plug 2 in for every x. Plug it in, plug in 2 for every x. So this is e times 2 squared minus 4, which would be 3 times 4 minus 4, which is 12 minus 4, so 8. So, okay, so here's our f prime of 2. In other words, that's the derivative of f with respect to x evaluated at 2. Now, what does the f prime of 2 mean? It means that x equals 2, the slope of the tangent line is 8. So the graph is increasing at a rate of 8 at that point. All right, concept check. What does the power rule let us do faster than the limit definition? The power rule just lets us find derivatives very quickly without having to use that limit definition every single time. Now, the limit definition is still important because it tells us where these derivatives are coming from, but the power rule just gives us a shortcut. So instead of using the limit as h approaches 0, f of x plus h minus f of x all over h, using that every time, we can use the power rule for x if we know it's a small, simple thing that we can take the derivative of. So the limit definition gives us a meaning, whereas that power rule gives us speed. So here's the big takeaway from lesson 8. The power rule just helps us find derivative of powers of x quickly. Bring the exponent down, subtract 1 from the power. Bring the power down, subtract 1 from the power. We know the derivative of constants are just 0. And those constants in front just stay in front. We bring that power down, multiply that power that we're bringing down by that coefficient that's in front. And if we have several terms, we can take the derivative of those term by term. And that's the foundation for these basic derivative rules that we have. All right, so that's it for lesson 8 of our MGS Calculus Camp. Today we learned some basic derivative rules. We use the power rule, the constant rule, the constant multiple rule, the sum and difference rule. In next lesson, we'll practice these with some polynomial functions and understand what that derivative actually means there. As always, keep practicing. Calculus gets a lot easier if you understand what the graph is actually doing. Always remember, math is everywhere. Have a good one.